So now we're going to move to another live discussion panel, which is going to be a Kubernetes discussion panel. So for that, I would like to welcome Narayan Iyengar from our Vault ecosystem team and Phil Sautter from the Terraform ecosystem team. Thank you very much for joining us, guys, and welcome. And just before I pass over to Domi, I just want to say, please get involved in the conversation. Do ask any questions that you have for Narayan or Phil on the platform, or we'll be sure to try and get those answered by them. So thank you very much. Over to you, Dom.
Thank you. Welcome, gentlemen. I'm just going to kick us right off. In the last panel, we touched a little bit on console. We can do Kubernetes federation of clusters with console, which is pretty cool. What do Terraform and Vault bring to the table? Let's start with Narayan.
Yeah, so Terraform just provides a very rich language, as we have a Terraform provider for Vault, what allows you to not only using the Terraform modules install Vault, but also configure Vault as you need. So the flow could be that you use Helm to install Vault onto Kubernetes clusters, but then you use the Terraform provider to configure it and maintain it on an ongoing basis.
Cool.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, right? Yeah, so one of the big values of Terraform in general, Kubernetes or not, is a consistent workflow across all of your infrastructure, and we've extended that into Kubernetes as well with first-class Kubernetes support. So we have the Kubernetes Provider, and we also just recently released the Kubernetes Alpha Provider, which basically covers all the resources that Kubernetes has to offer. And we also have the the Terraform operator for Kubernetes, which allows you to provision infrastructure resources using CRDs in the Kubernetes control plane.
Awesome, thank you very much. I want to see if there's some questions from the audience. Rob, did we get anything?
Thank you very much, Dom. At the moment, no. Audience, please, if you have any questions or any comments you'd like to make, please do get involved and ask the questions on the platform. But for now, there's nothing. Back to you, Domi.
All right, that's not a problem. So I also want to ask this to the audience, but to either of you two. What are the challenges you faced with provisioning on Kubernetes, and what can we do to make it better? It's kind of the question on this one.
That's an interesting question, and we have a meetup. I'm hosting a meetup tomorrow, so it should be on the schedule. And we are definitely looking for feedback that people have encountered. One of the biggest challenges that we had heard was getting Vault up and running in a Kubernetes cluster, Vault Enterprise specifically. We had a Helm chart that would allow you to install Vault open source, but more and more customers are looking to install Vault Enterprise. So we have made a number of improvements into the Helm chart. Vault and console teams have actually, now we have our own official Helm repo, so it makes installation of Vault and console into Kubernetes, like a two-step process. Add the repo, Helm install, and you're up and running. Vault, Helm, and the Vault agent injector, like you saw in the previous talk, have been really carefully written to make that operating experience really, really easy, and also the consumption of the secrets part really, really easy, for end users.
Amazing, thank you. I've heard just from our little elves in the studio that we've got some audience questions to come in. Rob, over to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have one, which is a really, really good question. And the question is running Vault Enterprise on Kubernetes recommended for production? I've written so many blog articles about this very question over the time. So yeah, I'd like to fling that over to Narayan, please.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, we do officially support running Vault Enterprise on Kubernetes. And as Jason pointed out in the previous talk, there are some security considerations that you have to make, as with running Vault on any platform. So there's production hardening guides that you have to follow, security best practices from the cloud provider or the platform provider that you have to follow. But other than that, we absolutely support, Vault Enterprise running on Kubernetes.
Amazing,
Awesome.
thank you. We have another question, which is when could Vault be available on HCP?
Good question. And I think as touched on the keynote, soon. I can't give you a much more concrete answer, but soon.
Amazing, thank you. So another one is, can we have more info on the Terraform Kubernetes provider, please? This one is probably for Phil.
More info, sure. So, we cover many of the Kubernetes resources in the Kubernetes provider that we've had around for a while. One of the things that, clearly we've been lacking is this custom resource definition support, which we just added in the Kubernetes Alpha provider. Long term, or I guess medium term, we do hope to actually merge these two providers into one and add the Kubernetes Alpha manifest resource into the Kubernetes provider, which would give full coverage in a single provider. It's a alternative to YAML, right? It's a much simpler, in my opinion, syntax, much cleaner and easier to look at. And again, it provides that common workflow. We also have the Helm provider. I know this question was about the Kubernetes provider, but I want to promote the Helm provider as well as a way to get all the Kubernetes workflows into Terraform.
Brilliant, thank you very, very much. We have another one. What's the best practice for managing secrets for multiple environments? Can I somehow achieve identical deployments differing only by environment variables or annotation and reuse the template which dynamically uses different paths in Vault based on the var? That one I'll fling to Narayan.
Yeah, that's an interesting question that may need a little bit more digging into the nuances of how you're setting up different environments. So feel free to reach out or come over to the meetup tomorrow, and we'll have some other experts on there as well to be able to kind of dig deeper and help you sort out that answer.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Just on that one there, I will also say, just in case some of you aren't aware, we have the discuss.hashicorp.com platform. So if you have any kind of deep technical questions that you have, you can always head over there and ask that in future. But for now, we're at the conference, so ask any questions in here and then do attend the meetups, and that'll be absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dummy.
All right, I do have one more question, or I think I've got one really important question. Could you tell me what you see as the future for HashiCorp products and Kubernetes? Phil.
Oh wow, that is quite the question. And if I had to look into my crystal ball, which I don't have, I think operators are more in our future. Tighter integrations with Kubernetes, better integrations with multi-cluster. I think that the industry is moving towards Kubernetes world, and so are we.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add, Narayan?
Yeah, I mean, spot on, Phil. HashiCorp itself has taken a Kubernetes first stance. HashiCorp joined the CNCF last year. As you can see, that Vault especially has done a lot of work around making installation of Vault and consuming secrets from Vault within Kubernetes extremely easy, and we're going to keep doubling down on those efforts and improve that experience as time goes on.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where people assume that because Kubernetes is not part of our stack, that there is no place for it within the stuff that we make and we use. But I feel like this is an important example of how this is actually, as well as welcome as many other things that we have. Just going over to Rob again. Do we have some more questions?
We do, yeah. I love this question. I absolutely love this question. I'm actually going to call this person's name out because it's a good one. So this is Anton Babenko. I hope I've pronounced your name properly. And the question is, are there any, including Hacky, ways to not cache secrets in Terraform state when they are fetched using Vault provider? So I'll fling that one over to Phil.
I actually think that's a better one for Narayan. I don't really have a good answer for that one, to be honest.
Not at the moment today, but we're definitely working on improving the Terraform provider to provide a much more, robust experience with fetching secrets from Vault. And I know I personally am working with the Terraform team as well to see how we can make that experience better. Yeah, sorry, not a better answer today, but it's coming.
No problem. Thank you very, very much for that. We have another one here. So it's, would you consider supporting certificate pinning with mutual TLS? For example, not only will Vault accept a connection from a trusted client, but it would additionally inspect the certificate for a specific field like subject DN or cert serial number. And that one's Narayan, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard that request before. So as Rob mentioned, just definitely do mention it in the Discuss forum. And if we'll definitely post an issue on GitHub, and we'll definitely take a look at it and see how we can better support certificate pinning.
Amazing, thank you. And just to kind of pin onto that myself, I think some of the announcements that we've heard today just show that we do listen to the community and their wants and needs, and we do use that in our feature development. So I'll just echo what Narayan said, and please do raise that on Discuss or on GitHub by raising the issue. We have another question here, and this is, should folks use console storage or Vault integrated storage when deploying Vault Enterprise on K8s? Brilliant question. Narayan?
I mean, the answer is your choice. There are definitely trade-offs between console and integrated storage. I mean, just to say, the console is, as a storage backend for Vault, is battle tested. It has been deployed in production and at scale at many, many large enterprises. Integrated storage just went GA, and we're still adding new features and bringing it up to speed with some of the features of console. But as I said, there are trade-offs that you have to consider. Console, you have to have a separate cluster you have to manage, but integrated storage, you have to look at faster disks with more IOPS because it's using the underlying disk. So definitely trade-offs, and it's a personal preference, I would say.
Amazing. Thank you very much. We have one more, which is, where do you store the state of Terraform when using it to configure Vault? Is it a chicken and egg problem? Again, another favorite of mine. The person's called RCM. I'm not quite sure who that is, but it's a brilliant question. And I'm going to probably throw that to Phil to start off with, but I'd like to hear both your thoughts on that one there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak much to the Vault part, but there's a lot of different options for storing your Terraform state, right? So we've got Terraform Cloud as a remote storage, and then basically, if in the cloud provider of your choice, there is likely a backend to store your state, and there's many other options. Actually, you can look in our documentation, and we've got quite a number of state backend storage options.
Brilliant.
For the Vault part of the question,
so
I'll throw it over to Narayan.
It was a question on how you store the Terraform state for Vault deployments. Was that the more specific question, Rob?
I believe so, yeah. So basically, if you're trying to sort of configure Vault with Terraform, don't you kind of have a chicken and egg problem, I guess, is the gist of the question. It's a really good question. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think deploying Vault using Terraform follows any other strange deployment pattern. It's considered as far as Terraform is concerned, it's another resource that it deploys. So any way you manage Terraform state today, whether it's Terraform Cloud or on-premise or cloud backend, I think it's the same way. Do we manage Vault state as well?
All right, I think that's it. We're out of time. Thank you so much, Narayan and Phil. It was amazing to learn more about this. If you want more information, tomorrow they'll have a meetup. You can see that up there somewhere.